Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading for November 20th to the 26th. This is for Gemini and Gemini rising. And if you're new to my channel, I do a traditional cultic cross spread. I also use astrology and my guides, so I'll bring a lot more clarity to get more specific and detailed with your reading. Gemini, I do this because you know I love you. I want you to feel like it's a personal reading, as if we're here one-on-one rather than a general spread. Lastly, I use astrology because it brings a lot more depth to your reading. So Gemini, I want you to get really excited for this week. You're definitely gonna feel a lot of just kind of like weight off your shoulders. Okay, we're entering Sagittarius season. All right, it's a big thing for you. It's a really big thing for you, and I'm going to explain why this week is very important for you, and you're just going to feel really great. First things first, Monday we have, well, actually it's Monday and Tuesday. You kind of cluster these 2 days together. So on Monday we have the Sun sextiling Pluto. All right, so absolutely amazing placement. What I want you to do is just imagine the sun just shining all this light on you, okay? Spotlights on you. It's a day of feeling very empowered. Feeling very empowered. You could feel very persuasive, very compelling. Take advantage of this day. You could be getting the attention of others, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether it's relationships, family, career. You know, the possibilities are endless, because what happens the next day is that Mars is sextiling Pluto. So Mars is like boom, 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 you know, the planet of action and drive. And it's just so nice. Okay. It's Pluto is empowerment. It's money, finances. Pluto represents a lot of things, but at the end of the day, transformation. And then when you think about where Pluto is in Capricorn. And so if you saw my last reading or any of the past readings, you know, Pluto is in Capricorn in your 8th house of transformation. This is really crazy because on the 21st, when Mars sextiles Pluto, this is going to be huge. But again, cluster these 2 days together. So the beginning of the week is just going to be very empowering for you. Now, Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. And so with Pluto being in Capricorn in your 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio, again, it's almost like you breaking free and Houdini magic show from some treasure chest and just, you know, it like really superheroing it up. Now, this is really like, you're definitely going to feel it. Really big charge around your passions too. So I really love the way the week is kicking off for you. There could be a lot of activity around other people's resources, shared resources, when it kicking off this week, especially with inheritance, investments, maybe your partner's income. There's just some activity there, just, bonuses, commissions as well, debts, paying off debts. So on Wednesday, though, Wednesday is when we officially move into Sagittarius season. Let me just tell you how big this is for you, Gemini, okay? Not only are we moving into Sagittarius season, which is so much nicer for you being an air sign, Sagittarius being a fire sign, all that activity in Scorpio, we coming out of Scorpio season, which was really intense, okay? But also, water sign. So it's air and fire obviously mix, really well, right? So this is already like for the Sagittarius season, really going to be great for you. Now, what's really great about, on Wednesday when the sun moves into Sagittarius, the moon is moving into Aries. Like, you are on fire. You're going to be on fire. Now, like really going after your passions, really feeling confident, really, it's just like go big or go home energy. Now, Sagittarius season is your 7th house. So everything Sagittarius is your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of activity here, where it could be work related, career related. I would not be surprised, especially with Saturn having gone direct in your 10th house of career, which is really great, okay? Because it was tangled up with all those retrogrades that made things a little bit harder, the past few months. And then everything in Scorpio season was in your 6th house. So you could have just been really stressed out, really busy, just so much, again, like that heaviness, right? That heaviness. So you're moving out of it, and it's just like more spirited energy for you. So I really love this for you. What I love the most, okay? Venus is in Libra. Remember that. For the rest of the month, Venus is in Libra, and that is your 5th house of love and pleasure and romance. So if you are single, this is a time where you could meet the one. You have to be going out there and make those moves and start swiping right. Whatever you do, Gemini, whatever you do. If you are in a relationship, it's really like you're just going to feel that extra spark. And if you're not even here for love or romance, the 5th house is still, it's creativity. Okay. It's also money. And so, yes, there could be a huge focus on career if you're here for career. If you're not here for career or love or romance, it can be family. Family is part of the 5th house. So is children. So is creativity. So just your passions, right? Just your passions. So I really love this for you. I absolutely love how we're kicking off this week for you. What is really amplifying the Sagittarius energy, again, your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, is the fact that on Friday, Mars is moving into Sagittarius for the rest of the year. So no, you have the planet of action and drive in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. You're going to see a lot of movement. It's wild. It's wild, but it's only wild because now we have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Sagittarius this week. And we have Venus in Libra. And Mars and Venus, when they get together, when they're, in these two places in your 7th house of partnership and your 5th house of love and romance and pleasure, that's amazing. Okay. That's really amazing. So it really is, it's so nice because we have no planets in Scorpio, and there's nothing wrong with Scorpio. It's just for you, for what's been happening in the past few months, it could have just been like really intense. And now you're going to feel a lot more free. That's what Sagittarius is. It's like having that freedom, feeling that freedom. It's like it's very optimistic, very lighthearted. And again, Venus in Libra is really going to be a big factor in that as well. So I really love that for you. And as you know, Libra is your BFF. Fellow air sign there. So again, love this energy for you. I've been saying, even for just what's happening here, looking at what's going on for y'all, it really is like, did you see Breaking Bad, the show, the last, when Aaron Paul get in the season finale, when he gets in the car and he's just like laughs hysterically. That's kind of what it's like. It's like you're getting away from all that intensity and from all these things that have been holding you back and just been really heavy for you. And it's just like, what do I do with all my freedom now? It's going to be really nice. Now, here is I'm sorry, here is where it gets a little challenging. Yes, of course. Again, if you saw, I've said from the very beginning, November is a month where there are some challenging aspects, and now we've come to them. So it's going to happen on Thursday. The Sun is going to square Saturn. Not a fun day. Just keep your head high. This is, again, it could be something with career because it is your 10th house. Saturn is in Pisces in your 10th house. So it could be something career related, something. And if you're not here for career, again, it can be 10th house is your social status. It's public recognition. It's, fame. So it could be something that has something to do with that. It's honors, achievements as well. So keep that in mind. It is a day where it just be patient. You could feel a little bit of pressure this day. Really, every Gemini's different. So it's really just how you handle it. It's just, you could be like really tested around something about something around this time. But then on the 25th, which is Saturday, Mars is going to square Saturn. And so you see now we're going from, it's almost like a complete opposite from last week, where it started off really, challenging, but then ended up really good. Now we're starting off this week where it's like, oh, amazing. I think it's a little, challenging. And so Mars squaring Saturn, again, just a frustrating a day where just things could be going a little, okay. Again, these are the two malefic planets that are just, they're locking horns. They're not, the energy is just it's just a day where you just want to be cool. Okay, just be cool. Put on your cool sunglasses. Be the cool, fun, friendly Gemini that you are. If should any challenge arise, and the only reason I say that this day might be frustrating is because it is coming after a Sun square Saturn, and so it can intensify. And I know if you live in the US like me, it is Thanksgiving weekend. So there could be something here that's just a little bit, but again, it's all happening in your 10th house. So it could just be the fact that, maybe everything is great for the weekend, but you're being called by your boss to do something and you're just like, what? It's Thanksgiving. Like, what? Right. So it really is just a day just to keep that in mind. There may be something just but a little bit stressful, a little bit testing. As long as you keep your energy level high, you'll be fine. As long as you just maneuver around it, you'll be fine. And, I personally feel that it's good. You will be fine, especially because Mars has moved into Sagittarius at this point, and also you are Geminis. Y'all are so clever and so creative, and can get. And we're back. How funny is that, by the way? I was just saying. This weekend may be like really stressful and testing for you, and then my camera goes out. Anyway, so Gemini, as I was saying, if there's anyone that can get out of any kind of situation, it would be you. Y'all are so creative. Y'all are so clever. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Gemini, I think that was it. Mars, Saturn. Yep, that was it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what's going on for you for the week of November 20th to the 26th. Again, this is for Gemini and Gemini rising. And if you know your birth chart, feel free to read for your moon, your Venus, all those other placements. If you want more clarity for what's going on for you this week. Okay, so Gemini, let's get started. I'm excited to see what's going on for y'all. Like I said earlier, Gemini, I do a traditional cultic cross spread. Really does bring the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, we'll pull clarifiers. Secondly, Gemini, you are amazing. I hope you are having an exciting month with all these changes that are happening for you. And it looks like interesting. I like this. I like the progression from your last reading, and you are good. You're good. And come on, this is big. This is really big. Let's get started. Okay, so you did get the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands came up in your past, though. So this is really great that it did. There could have been something that did, this card is, the biggest energy that's coming up for me is there's just you're just so over, there could have been some egos at play. There could have been a lot of not seeing eye to eye with other people, maybe, at work, it could have been, but family is coming up again. Venus did move into Libra last week. So there could have been something that was just not fun. Okay. And again, remember the end of last week was also a little, right? So, here you go. You have the 5 of Wands in your past. So this card is really just, 5 is all about severity when you think about the tree of life. So, but it's the least of the, in terms of intensity. The 5 of Wands is like the least. I mean, you can even see the card. It's just kids swinging their wands in the air, basically, right? So it really is. There could have been a situation where there was like too many cooks in the kitchen. There were too many voices, too many, people just not seeing eye to eye. Again, it could have had something to do with you and your passions. There could have been some friction with someone, maybe a loved one, or there could have been someone like family related, work related. But at the same time, in these situations, there really has to be someone that just kind of like rises above and becomes that leader, right? And says, hey, we all need to like get along, get aligned here. Let's move forward. But that children energy is coming up strong. So if you do have children, there could have been some bickering. There could have been some you having to had to have some situations with that. And it could even be, even like, not even your children, if that makes sense. Like if you're a teacher or an educator or like an aunt or an uncle or whatnot. But anyway, lesson learned, right? Because you got the Knight of Cups. This is really great. And it kind of just, it really does blow my mind. Like the fact that I'm telling you, like just from my intro, this is all about partnerships now. Everything's moving toward partnerships for you. I mean, you literally just got the Knight of Cups in the heart of your spread. So he is the knight in shining armor. He is, you know, the Mr. Romantic. This is someone who, you know, definitely wants to share his cup. You can see him extending his cup. Definitely want to share his cup with someone. So there is a lot of, you know, the Knight of Cups is so dreamy, and it's really just like dreaming about like that perfect partner, dreaming about what's going to fulfill him emotionally, dreaming about the things that are going to make him really happy, but actually, you know, taking action for it. Remember, knights are active, so they take action. The Knight of Cups is Pisces. Okay. So remember what I said, Saturn and Neptune actually, but Saturn in Pisces, right, in your 10th house of career. So there could be you moving forward in some sort of career aspect, partnering up with someone. It could be like a new boss. It could be like if you own your own company, like partnering up with someone in terms of your company. But there is that element of partnership, okay, the partnership. And again, love is... a big thing here. Love is a big thing here. You could be entering a new relationship. You could be taking a relationship to the next level. You could be seeking relationships right now too, if you're single. I mean, when I say there's no better time to go out there and meet your soulmate or who, you know, your other half, it's now with Venus in Libra and Mercury, Sun, and Mars in Sagittarius is in your 7th house. I mean, this is really, really big. And let me remind you, Gemini, it's only going to get bigger because we have a full moon in your sign next week. Okay, so we'll talk about that later, but this is absolutely amazing. If you're not here for love or romance or career, any of that, okay, or fame or whatnot, honors, achievements, this really is just, you know, the Knight of Cups, all he wants to do is fill his cup. That's all he wants to do. Okay. That's all he wants to do. He wants to be fulfilled emotionally. So it's, what are your passions? What's going to make you, you know, really, really, what's getting you excited? Something could be coming your way, or you could be approaching something. There's still that element of creativity that I mentioned earlier about Geminis. You do see that's associated with this card because you can see the wings of imagination on his helmet and on his shoes there as well. So I really like this for you. It's really nice. There's that creative energy. It's like that feeling expressive is coming through. You did get the Hanged Man in your challenge area. So there is something that you may be this week thinking about letting go, thinking about surrendering. And I feel like that you should, especially because there's still so much activity in your 12th house, okay, which is the subconscious. It's the past. It's hidden things. It's, you know, even like self-sabotage energy as well. And, you know, with the Hanged Man here in your challenge area, it's really interesting. I really want you to pay attention to this weekend, okay, with the 20... from the 23rd to the 25th, okay, when we have these Saturn squares, because again, that is your 10th house of career. And not only is Saturn in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces as well, and the Hanged Man is attributed to Neptune. So you see that there really could be something regarding that over the weekend, okay? Again, career, fame, public recognition, even the way that you want to be perceived by people. Okay. So having, you know, a boost of self-confidence. I feel like you're going to have a lot of that this week though, especially as we kick off this week. But there is a sense of there's something that you still may need to let go, something that you still need to surrender. And not only with the Hanged Man, but look at what else is happening here. You have the Six of Swords in your crown and the Ten of Wands and the root of your spread. So this is clearly indicating there's something that you're going to have to just like nip it in the bud. Okay. Especially, and it could be whatever this was. There could have been some heated something, but it was just like, it was like, it's like not worth your time like worrying about or stressing about or even thinking about. Right now, the Six of Swords is all about moving forward. It's all about, especially up here mentally, right? Moving forward mentally, your mindset. And if you remember your last week's spread, you did get it in your, it was your future, right? So I love that now it's just where you're in it, which is really great. So it looks like you are making effort to move forward from something, but definitely surrender something that's going to help lighten the load. It's especially with the Ten of Wands in the root of your spread. So very interesting how this is also 10 would be the end of this suit. Okay, so 1-0 equals 1, so a new beginning comes after this. But this card, there's again this card is the card of like burden and burnout and taking on too much. You can even see that he can barely make it carrying all those wands. Now, I don't know how much wands weigh in tarot, but I know how much bamboo weighs in real life, and it is heavy. Okay, so there is, again, a sense of just like, that's all you want to do is move out of this heaviness. Okay, so one thing I really want you to pay attention to this week is if there is anything that you are distracting yourself from, if that makes sense. There's with all this energy about moving forward and wanting to move forward, but then you have the Hangman in the heart of your spread where you do have to surrender something. You have to let something go to have that, like, let that enlightenment come in. Let the Hangman comes right before the Death card, so that is a card of transformation, right? So there is something that you may want to, and it may have to be like a bigger sacrifice than you want, but at the end of the day, I mean, when I say distract yourself, I mean, you can even see him here. He can't even see where he's going. He's carrying so many wands. Now, is he doing that on purpose, right? Like, are you distracting yourself from something and making and kind of like making things harder for you by not paying attention to something that you definitely need to, like, just again nip in the bud or have some sort of resolution for. Okay, so and definitely don't take on more than you should. Don't take on other people's responsibilities. Please don't. Right? You're going to be fine, especially because you have the King of Swords in your future. So I really love this for you. There is a sense of, a lot of spiritual energy here that I really love. Okay. This is really nice. And I say that because you have the Hanged Man, even though it's in your challenge area, you still have the Hanged Man, but then you also have the Six of Swords and the King of Swords, both of which are Aquarius cards. And Aquarius, again, your other BFF, right? Fellow air sign. Aquarius happens to be your ninth house of spirituality, higher mind, and education, which is interesting because I brought that earlier. And it doesn't have to be like a teacher role, but just educating people in some capacity. But it looks like you are really moving forward into a lot of more authority, like really having more control and authority in your life. Really like this for you. That is the King of Swords. He is the only king that actually looks directly at you, so nothing to hide, right? Facing all his truth. So it looks like if you are distracting yourself from something, this may be the week that you do let something go and really do find resolution to something that you're just like, okay, I really need to just take care of this, right? With the Five of Wands in your past. But otherwise, like, you're good. You're good. You're really good. I love the fact that the Knight of Cups popped up in the heart of your spread, but just keep going after, it's this feel good energy that's coming through, but there is a sense of like, continue to unburden yourself. Continue, like I said from the very beginning of this reading, there is a sense of like just this, less, just, is it less weight off your shoulder? No, weight off your shoulder. More weight off your shoulder. Gemini, let's get to your stuff. Gemini, if you like this reading, by the way, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, let me know what's going on. And if you are a subscriber, thanks so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. I wouldn't be here without you, so I am truly grateful. I really do appreciate it, Gemini. Wow. Okay, look at what just happened. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there is something that you definitely have to let go. And we're going to get to that in a second. You did get the 10 of Cups. Love this. Okay. So, remember how I said in the beginning, like, imagine the sun shining on you, like the spotlight's on you now. And, just think of it as, motivation or even like inspiration. Just think about the things that you want to go toward and just keep going. Okay. Keep going, but shake things off as you go. The things that you just don't need anymore. All right. The 10 of Cups is all about, joy. And it's, this is the card of happy everything. It's a card with the only rainbow in tarot indicating a promising future. You do see the happy couple here. All right. You see the happy couple. Again, children, right? You still, the children are playing. So there is a lot of y'all where there may be a situation where you want your kids to like be in this happy environment, and even for your family, even for your relationships as well. And again, for a lot of y'all, either moving into a relationship or finding a spark in a relationship. And when I say moving into a relationship, it can be work or career as well. Again, this is a Pisces card, by the way, so again, more Pisces energy here, which is Saturn and Neptune in Pisces is your 10th house of career. So it's almost like you are looking for that kind of like amazing, happy, joyful, fairy tale. Like it's so, especially again with the Knight of Cups and the Heart of your spread, but it's almost like this fairy tale becomes real. So it's really nice. Now, you did get the 2 of Pentacles in your external factors area, Gemini. Do you remember last week's spread? It was in the heart of your spread. Now it's in your external factors. Now we know there is definitely something that you've got to let something go. Okay. It is clear now. There is something, this card is all about imbalance. So it's really just more like finding that balance in your life. But with everything else that's happening in your main spread, it is clearly saying there's something you've got to let go in order for you to move forward. And you actually know it, or you will this week. Okay. You will know what it is, and it could be something in your physical world. So keep that in mind. It's if you're sitting on a decision, that may be it too. Still sitting on a decision, that could be the thing where it's just like you're distracting yourself, where you still have to make this decision. I mean, if you remember last week's reading, it was all about like decisions. You got to make this big decision, but there really is something here that could be pretty significant in terms of the way that you transform this week. And speaking of transform, actually, with the 2 of Pentacles is a Capricorn card. It is ruled by Capricorn. And remember what I said, Pluto and Capricorn, your 8th house of transformation, death and rebirth transformation. Other people's money, too, could be a big factor. Again, that's coming up here, especially in your external factors area. So other people's resources, like inheritance and investments, like I said earlier, bonuses, commissions, paying off debt, like that's, it really is a big thing here. Now, you did get the King of Wands. I really like that for you. You got 2 kings, which is really great. A lot of like powerful energy. King of Wands, a lot of y'all are definitely here for career or just your passions. Again, wands are passions, right? Your passions, your ideas, and that creative side of you. But the King of Wands is, he is like the entrepreneur of tarot, but he is also very transformative energy that comes with the King of Wands. Especially, you can even see there's a salamander here, and I'm not going to go into too much of the backstory, but like they represent transformation. Okay. It's not just here, it's all over his cape. Yeah, it seems like that's all you want. It's like you want to move into this next big thing where you have a lot more, power and, self, like empowerment, right? But also authority, leadership. You want to be seen. You want to be seen. And then you have the Nine of Wands in your final outcome. So very interesting with the again, another Sagittarius card that you pulled, as we are in Sagittarius season. This, the Ten of Wands is Sagittarius. So Nine of Wands, Moon in Sagittarius, which so this is your final outcome. So you can see, by the way, he's got gauze all over his head. Okay. So this is really just, at this point, persevering. It's like you really, really, staying resilient. Okay. Holding on to that empowerment energy that we start off with the beginning of the week. And then when, we have all this activity shift into Sagittarius season, really just hanging in there. Okay. Not throwing in the towel. If you feel that there is something that, again, it's coming down to something you do have to let go. But staying strong when you do that. And like I said, a lot of it is, quite possibly in your physical world, but there could be something that, it really could be something up here, subconscious, on a deep level as well. There could be some sort of fear that is holding you back, like fear of like, is this going to work out, or is this going to happen? Or, it's almost like it's like there's so much happening in your, and it was, I think that was like, what, 2 weeks back? That was like a lot going on up here. But again, it's just, the good news about the Nine of Wands is that it is, even though he is all, he's gone through it, he's definitely like weathered the storm, he's still standing. So that's always a great sign. He's still standing, and he's not letting anyone or anything take away anything that he's standing in front of the wands. Okay. He's protecting them. So really, really putting a foot on the ground, and just protecting everything that he's worked hard for, protecting his passions, knowing that, it's right before the Ten of Wands. Okay. So keep that in mind. Like there may be something that you surrender this week. Again, it can be, I'm going to leave it up to you here, because the way that your spread is, I'm getting more of something in your physical world. But again, there's a lot of spiritual energy here too. So there could be something that is, and as you move forward into next week with a full moon in Gemini, these full moons bring culmination and conclusion. And so something is going to come to an end. And I think a lot of it is accepting it and staying strong when that happens. But again, you have to take that action with the Knight of Cups and the heart area spread, heavy on relationships and partnerships here. But you definitely have to think about it. Think about the thing that will help you move forward, where it's you have a lot more freedom. So with that said, thank you so much, Gemini. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you'd like, subscribe, leave comments, let me know what's going on. And if you are a subscriber, thanks so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. Next week, we have the full moon in your sign. It's a big full moon. There's a lot of big changes happening for y'all, Gemini. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.